Hello, it's the car sales guru here. Where are we? We sold a couple of cars since I last spoke, and I had a very negative response to one of them. And I got to tell you, I had a very positive response to another client that has just recently purchased a car. To let you know what a positive response is, and this is where a broker comes in, which is like someone like myself, is I take the pain out of what potentially you could be getting yourself into. Remember, you're going to see a salesman that has been to every course in the world. Doesn't matter if they're 18 or they're 80. He's normally male, and he knows what you're going to say before you say it. And I've said this before. And he doesn't get offended by any way that you talk to him, no matter what. He's used to it. Okay? So you're going to walk into a dealership. I've shown you the wrong way and the right way to buy a motor car. But you still need to buy a car, and sooner or later you need to buy, you need to, your car's about on its last track, you need to buy one. And I don't want to scare you. Brokers like myself, we ring on your behalf 5 dealerships. I don't care who. I'm not loyal to anyone. I get the 5 written quotes of what you're after. I then talk to you, the client, normally over a cup of coffee. We make it nice and easy. We get you a test drive. I'm either with you or I'm not with you. You can test drive it yourself if you wish, up to yourself. And I advise you what they're going to say to you. And then you're going to repeat exactly what I advise, what they're going to tell you, because I already know the answer of what the question they're going to ask you and the answer that you reply to them. Okay? So simple. I recommend the dealership that does have the cheap price, because I ring the salesman and say that blah 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 is coming. Make sure the car's out, make sure it's petrol, make sure it's ready to go, and make sure that you have the colour that you actually described you have. You would bring the trade-in down, which I would shop. I then shop your trade-in with 4 different wholesalers and get the best price for your trade-in as well. Remember, your trade-in does not have to be traded in, because you will get a better price selling it privately, depending on how old it is. But I want to tell you about the experience, a positive experience, because it just shows that it happens. And I'll tell you the dealership's name. Kremen Hyundai. Yesterday, I sent a young lady down there and a young fellow, I can't mention his name because for privacy laws, but a young fellow, very, very good young salesman, spoke to her and made her feel very welcome. I didn't go with her, but I'd already rung up 3 other dealerships to make sure I was doing my homework at home with prices and so forth, to make sure that we had the right car at the right price. So she's gone to test drive the car. The young salesman has let her take the car. Now, I said to her, go do what I say, go for a test drive by yourself without the salesman. He'll get you to get your license, and he'll get you to fill out a form. Took the car, actually brought the car back to me and got me to drive around the block with her so that I could feel the car, even though I knew the car. One of those Hyundai i20s, beautiful little car. And meanwhile, I'd got prices elsewhere. But she also had a trade-in. Her trade-in wasn't a very nice trade-in, but I'd also got prices on that as well. So we've told the young salesman that the lady lives in his PMA, which is prime marketing area. So Cranbourne Holden, she lives in Cranbourne. His vested interest to sell her the car. And he was very, very polite, not pushy, and then realised that a broker was involved, which was myself, and then made the fatal mistake of saying you shouldn't, you don't need the broker involved. We can come in with you, and that's where the only negative that the young fellow realised he made a mistake, because I've got the rapport with the lady. I know the lady very well, and I've done the homework for her. The only thing I haven't done, I haven't gone for the test drive because 3 people sitting in a car, in a small car, is just too much. And I want her to walk in there and feel like she's buying the car, not me buying the car for her. My job is to get the right price for her. So she's come back, loved the car, but we're still comparing it to other cars. The young gentleman then rings me again last night at about 8:30, which I didn't answer the phone, but he left a message to say I need to speak to you. And he done the right thing that the salesman did. He didn't tell me what he needed to speak to me about. So I commend you on that, because that's exactly what I used to teach my salesmen. Never tell what you're about to tell them in case it's bad news. Very next morning, he's rung me again. Told me that, yes, we can do the deal, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I've run 2 other dealerships, and they are miles away from the price. And but we couldn't get a particular colour the young lady wanted. So I then rang this young sales professional back, and I said, we want this colour. Now, credit to him, he got the colour, but then said it's not available for 3 or 4 more weeks, which I would say that it would be either getting made from the factory or coming from Korea, because they're Korean cars. I'd say that it would be on the boat. But they did have a silver one available there and then on the spot. So I took the client, myself, down, and I said, what do you think it is? And of course she fell in love with the car. The salesman was not pushy. I was very, very impressed with him. In fact, I wished I had him at my dealership when I was doing it. Now, he's now going to go to the girls' parents' place. They're quite old people in an old person's home, and he's now going to go and sign them up, because they're buying the car for their daughter. And he's got no problems whatsoever. Before I even said it, he said, yep, I'll go and sign up, no problems whatsoever. He'll take a deposit or he'll take the full check, one or the other. He's already written up the trade-in. You know, it's all textbook stuff, and it was so easy and he gets a deal out of it. Unfortunately, he probably gets minimum commission. I mean, some of these guys work for $50, and I guarantee you that it's probably not much more than that. But I want this young guy to see this, because it shows that a true sales professional, I know this young gentleman has been there for a while, so I do commend him. I do commend Cranbourne Hyundai. Brokers are out there. There are good ones and there are dodgy ones. I've been in this trade for 25 years. I actually go for a niche market. I go for the ladies, and I also go for the gay market. And the reason I went for those 2 markets is for one reason alone, because they're normally the 2 sorts of people that can be treated badly in dealerships. That's why, obviously, I went for the niche market, and that's worked for me. This young gentleman has done very, very well, so I do commend you. I commend your dealership, so whoever your manager is, congratulations. I will send this so that you can actually see that it's not all negativity, and I'll send my whole website. And don't forget, this goes Australia-wide. If Cranbourne Hyundai want this taken off for some obscure reason, or Hyundai want it taken off, I'll send a copy of this to Hyundai as well, and to let them know that there is people doing road to the sale the way road to the sale should be. Now, the car's not delivered yet. He has promised it will be ready for tomorrow, so I might be sending a video tomorrow to say that he's 2 weeks away. But so far, he hasn't overpromised and he hasn't under-delivered, and that's what selling cars are all about. It's about rapport building. That one car is probably going to sell that young gentleman 20 more cars, because I'm a broker, and one thing about me, once I find loyalty, I stick with them, and I bring customers on a platter to them. And I don't charge the customer, I charge the dealership for that privilege. So thank you very much to Cranbourne Hyundai. You made my job extremely easy. It ain't always as easy as that, as I found out from my other experience that you read earlier. You'll see what sort of experience I had at a Nissan dealership. But still, the girl got her car, and she ended up, without my services, she would have been ripped off to the shreds. And unfortunately, There's too much of that going on out there. It's up to people like ourselves and people like that young professional to make sure that people are. And that's why Hyundai are having a great time at the moment, because their product is sensational. A 5-year unlimited warranty, a car that is exceptionally wonderful. I mean, I remember the days when they had the 13990 XL with the 2000 cashback, and that's what got Hyundai started in Australia. And let me tell you, it was like they were lining up at the door to get into those cars. So anyone ever bags a Korean product, I'm sorry, but you have blinkers on. Thanks very much from the Car Sales Guru. Look forward to talking to you again.